We've got some special guests with us today in the form of two executive committee members. Phil Popham, our Global Director of Operations, whom I'm sure many of you know and have met, and the equally famous Gerry McGovern, our Land Rover Chief Designer and Chief Creative Officer. Gerry's going to talk us through this brilliant new Range Rover, and without further ado, I want to hand over to Gerry to do that. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Good afternoon. Come in a bit closer. Don't you like each other or something? You get it tight and then you'll hear what I'm saying. Before I show you the... all I can hear at the moment is my own voice. Before I show you the vehicle, I just want to paint a little bit of a picture and I help to put this in context. We're a brand in transformation. Clearly we're very successful at the moment. I know Phil's going to probably talk to you about that tonight. But that's just the start, because we're incredibly ambitious about where we want to take this brand. We are now in the process of designing a whole new generation of vehicles. And probably for the first time in our history, we're being afforded the ability to look at them in a holistic way. In other words, what is the vision of the future? And we're actually designing these things simultaneously. And that will mean replacing our icons, such as the new Range Rover here, new Defender, and things like the Discoveries and our Range Rover Sports, etc. But also looking for what we call white space opportunities, things that the market haven't seen yet, things that can actually stretch our brand and bring greater relevance to it. And I think the Evoque is a very good example of what I'm talking about in terms of a white space vehicle. That is been our fastest selling Land Rover ever, and we've sold over 100,000 of those now inside a year, and it's a massive success. And I think we've won over 120 design awards for it, because that is a vehicle that really does resonate from an emotional perspective, and it is design that's at the core of that. And actually design is at the core of our brand now, absolutely. We have a design strategy which was the basis for how we designed that vehicle, was the basis for how we've designed this one, and will continue to be. And it talks to four key elements. I won't go into the detail of that, but that design strategy is inextricably linked to what we call our brand architecture, which will, again, that's starting to be defined, and it will bring more clarity to what this brand represents. And we talk about three pillars that represent potential for three different families of vehicles: Range Rovers, luxury; Discoveries, versatility; Defenders, and I say Defenders in the plural because that's what we're talking about, dual purpose. Because what that does is it talks to the potential for the future in terms of the way the market's going to develop. By 2020, we think there's going to be over 20 million vehicles. When I say vehicles, I mean in the generic SUV sense, from soft off-roaders, multi-purpose light crossovers, all the way up to heavy-duty 4x4s. So that's our opportunity. You know, we're selling maybe 300,000 this year. Within a few years' time, we could be selling 700,000-800,000. So that is a real opportunity for us. So part of my role also is not just the design of the vehicles, but to be one of the custodians of the brand. Myself and John Edwards, who's the global marketing director, our job is to guide this brand. And part of my role specifically is the tonality, in terms of executing the brand consistently in all its visual communications. So what are our motor show stands going to look like over the next few years? What are our websites? What's our advertising going to be like? What's our photographs going to be like? What are our dealerships going to be like? Because if we create this fantastic array of future vehicles, you know, it's down to you. We need to guide you, but how you present them, because you're the interface with a customer ultimately. So you have a big responsibility too on this journey, and clearly I don't need to tell you that. So I suppose you want to see the car now, don't you? just want to talk about one point though before I do. Because so far, the Evoque and this car, they're Range Rovers. These talk to the world of luxury. And I like to remind our people back home that we're not just competing with other luxury vehicles. We're competing with other luxury products and luxury lifestyles. When some people might be considering buying a new Range Rover, they might at the same time be deciding to buy a luxury watch instead. So we need to think about luxury and the manifestation of luxury in all its different forms and how we present ourselves. Okay, to this one, the new Range Rover. I'm sure you know you've got a lot of customers for them. You know, we talk to our customers about this vehicle and they say, don't change it, just make it better. It's a difficult one to work with. But the reality is we did need to change it and it did need to get better, and I can assure you it has. Range Rover does have a unique heritage. It's known, it's recognisable the world over. It's peerless, it's distinctive, it's iconic. It's a type of vehicle you can drive to the Sydney Opera House or you can drive in the outback, and I think it's that duality of purpose that's part of its charm. Our customers, they love it, they love that distinctive design. Clearly they love its practicality, its capability, and they love its high levels of sophistication. And I suppose as we started to develop this vehicle, we were very mindful of that. We were mindful of not diluting that unique DNA. This is a design that if you take it too far, you're in danger of diluting that and being seen as generic. At the same time, if you don't develop the design enough, you're in danger of being retrospective. So it's all about balance. So when I do pull off the covers, and I will in a minute, what you will see is a very intelligent, sophisticated design. It's unmistakably a Range Rover, its DNA is clear, and when you see a picture up there of the outgoing model, look at this and look at that and make the comparison, because it is completely different, but it's still unmistakably a Range Rover. This vehicle is very elegantly proportioned. Every line on the vehicle is doing a job, and the interior is an absolute revelation. It takes Range Rover to new levels of refinement and quality, and those key elements that you'd expect to see in a Range Rover are still there. The command driving position, the panoramic views outside of the vehicle, that sense of elevation, it's all there but executed in a thoroughly modern, contemporary way. We're a brand that has a unique heritage, but we're not going to be harnessed by it. We're looking forward. It's about creating vehicles that are absolutely modern and contemporary. So, I think we'll pull the covers off now. Please, ladies. There you go. There's two very glamorous ladies behind that car, and I asked them not to be seen because they might be distracting. So, there's the new one, there's the outgoing model. A few things about the exterior design that you'll notice. It might not be as noticeable at the moment, but the roof is lower, it does sit lower, and the car is actually sitting lower because we've actually reduced the access mode, something our customers were asking for to make it easier to get it in and out of. I think I'd better talk over this side because the mic's here. You'll tell me off, won't you? Is that better for you? It's got a faster screen angle. It's got more what we call plan shape at the front. It's got more pull-off at the rear. The roof is lower by about 20 mil and it pulls off towards the back. Those sorts of things are done to improve its aerodynamics. You know, something that's rectilinear that looks like a brick doesn't go through the air particularly well. So this car is less rectilinear, quite deliberately so. You'll notice things like its flush glazing, which talks to its modernity. And you'll notice its beautiful jewel-like quality detailing. The classic Range Rover elements are there on the exterior, like the floating roof, the clamshell bonnet, that overall visual robustness, combined with absolute precision detailing. On this particular version, it's got a black roof, but clearly the vehicle comes also in its base form with the body colour roof, so then you see that iconic, if you like, floating roof. When you look at the interior, you can have a look at it by all means in a moment. The architecture is classic, the horizontal emphasis of the main fascia moulding, the intersection of the vertical console. We wanted to apply this less is more approach. A lot of the research we've done tells us at this end of the market people want intuitiveness. We didn't want it too complicated. We've reduced the number of switches by nearly 50% over the outgoing model. It's far more comfortable, it's got much better material finishes, and although the roof is lower, there's actually more room inside, and we've increased the rear leg room, because the rear occupant is clearly becoming more important, and that equates actually to the longer wheelbase, which has helped making it look more elegant. So, that's the gist of it. We believe we've got a vehicle here that has that killer combination of what we call design leadership and capability. Great design combined with absolute engineering integrity. Now all you have to do, you've got the easy job, is sell them. So, thanks very much.
Jerry, thanks so much for that fantastic job and a brilliant, brilliant design. I know everybody here is dying to get their hands on these cars and sell them. What we'd invite you to do is step up and have a close look, and then I'd like you to filter through to the other side of the stand where we'll be talking to Ian Callum, who designed the fabulous new F-type sports car. So if you could do that for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you.